Hello, my name is Chuck Bunnell. I'm the pastor at St. Andrew's Lutheran Church in Van Nuys and Prince of Peace Lutheran Church in Northridge. And I would like to share with you for a couple minutes my experiences with shared ministry. Here's the situation before. St. Andrew's and Prince of Peace were once large churches, but not anymore. Now they're unable to support a full-time pastor in a way that would ensure a long-term ministry. I was called to Central Lutheran in 2000, and finances were a problem. A member at St. Andrews spoke to me one day about St. Andrews in Central sharing a pastor. I had experience with this. I did my internship at a two-point parish in Carlstadt and Helma, Minnesota. I had an idea of what could go wrong in such an arrangement, but also an idea of how well two churches could work together to ensure the continuance of their mutual ministries to their communities. I worked up a proposal for a shared ministry between the two churches that decided to ultimately to share the ministry, St. Andrews in Van Nuys and Prince of Peace in Northridge. Sundays, we meet from 9 to 10, at Prince of Peace from 11 to noon. It's a little later now with COVID. I was appointed interim minister at St. Andrews, and ultimately St. Andrews called me as their pastor, and Prince of Peace contracted with St. Andrews for my pastoral services. I've striven to serve both churches equally. Programs instituted on in one congregation are offered to the other. I've attended both the churches' meetings. I provide video Bible studies and Advent worship on YouTube. As far as the financial arrangement, St. Andrews bills Prince of Peace for their part of the support of the pastor and even arranges for a cell phone, which keeps me in touch at all times with my two congregations. Some advantages of a shared ministry. The pastor is paid a living full-time wage that might encourage her or him to stay on at the call more than just a year or two. Council meetings are calmer because the load of paying the cost of a full-time pastor is cut in half. Congregations can benefit from shared confirmation, Bible studies, Advent, Lenten worship, as well as social gatherings such as barbecues in the summer. What are some of the disadvantages of a shared ministry? With the two services on a Sunday morning, there's no time for an adult forum. Bible studies can make up for that on YouTube to solve the problem or during the week. Most conflicts in the shared ministry can be resolved before they happen with phone calls and flexibility. Other questions. Is shared ministry more work for a pastor? Yes, but for a full-time income, but it makes for a full-time income rather than a part-time ministry pay. And it's well known by pastors that part-time ministry is a myth. Without a shared ministry arrangement, without the generous giving of our members, and without donations from churches that meet in our facilities, our ministries would be lost. Just like Christ the King Lutheran Church in Lake Balboa and Valley Lutheran Church in North Hollywood and Epiphany Lutheran Church in Canoga Park and Holy Shepherd Lutheran Church in Chatsworth. St. Paul supplemented the gifts of early believers with tent makings. I know what that's like. I've been a pastor and a substitute teacher, and I've done other things too. And I found that shared ministry with two churches, for me, is a better way to provide for myself, for my family, and for the congregation's future. Thank you for your time and God's continued blessings on St. Andrew's and Prince of Peace Lutheran churches and for all pastors and congregations as we consider how we should best face the challenges of the future. Amen.